Alright, so if you're receiving this video, it's because you've already purchased LipSense from me, and we want to make sure that you are applying it correctly. So I'm actually going to demo. If you'll notice on my face, there is no LipSense, which makes me look a little bit ghostly right now, but that's alright, we're going to fix that. I want to remind you that application is so important. It may take you a little bit longer in the morning, but it's going to be worth it because it's going to stay all day. The people I've talked to since I started selling in my very short time that don't like LipSense or say it didn't work for them, 10 times out of 10 it's been because they weren't applying it correctly. Either they weren't taking the time to make sure their lips were clean, or they weren't applying the right number of layers. LipSense does go on in 3 layers. The first layer bonds to the skin and actually protects the second layer from the natural pH in your skin that's going to start breaking down any color you put on your lips. The second layer actually has the most staying power because it's protected by that first layer and also by the third layer, which protects it from saliva, from environmental factors, the sun, even if you kind of chew on your lip every once in a while. That's what the third layer protects the second layer from. So just remember, it goes on in 3 layers. Now I've chosen 2 colors today to combine. I'm going to combine Napa and Mauve Ice because I don't want to quite go as dark as Napa, but Mauve Ice is a little bit light for me. First thing you need to do, make sure that you put the rest of your makeup on. This was a mistake I was making in the beginning. I was getting about 6 hours of wear out of my LipSense, which I was okay with because it was so much more than I'd had before. But it wasn't as much as some of the people who were getting 16 or 18 hours. And I changed one little thing in the way that I applied it, and it really truly now I have to take it off after 15 or 16 hours. So this is really important. Make sure after you put your makeup on that you clean your lips. I just use a little cotton round, get it wet with water. Some people use witch hazel. You can do that, but just wipe your lips and make sure they're clean. And on the video, it's probably a little hard to see, but there is a lot of makeup that's coming off on this cloth. What was happening when I first was applying LipSense is I was applying that first layer after doing my makeup, and there was powder on my lips from my makeup. So the LipSense was actually bonding to that powder. So as soon as the powder started to break down and wear off, the LipSense went with it, which is why I was only getting 4 to 6 hours of wear. So just make sure you're cleaning them until you don't see anything come off on your lips anymore, on your cotton lip swab. Okay, so after that step, one of the other things you need to do is you're going to do 2 things at one time. First of all, you're going to shake up your color. Just shake your color really well. There are tiny particles inside, and I'm not going to shake it up here because that'll make you sick. There are tiny particles inside LipSense that all need to combine, and if you don't shake it up well, again, that might affect your wear. While you're doing that, you're going to do something else just a little bit silly, which is to make sure your lips are dry, especially right inside your waterline. So I take a towel, a microfiber towel, and I just put it right inside my lips and make sure it's nice and dry while I'm shaking the color. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and apply the first layer. And you take it out. All right. Now you'll notice I went in one continuous motion on the bottom part of my lip and then on the inside of my lip. If you think of it like a whiteboard, if you draw across the whiteboard and come back, you actually take it off. With LipSense, that same thing can happen. So you want to make sure that you're only going one direction. Now to do my top lip, I'm actually going to grab my mirror so I can make sure I get it right. But bear with. On the top lip, you can either start in the middle and go to either side, or you can start on one side and go. But just remember that you want to make sure you are, and I'm going to pause my video for just a second to make sure it's working okay. Hold on. Okay, I don't know if I did it right. Hold on. Okay, I'm just telling you, with technology right now, this has been a joke in the sense that, you know, I'm not a person who's done a lot of recording, but that's okay. Back to what I was saying. I'm going to put this on. You can either go one side and then the other and then across the water line, or you can do it all the way across, and then your waterline. Okay, so I've got the first layer on. This again is the color Napa. It doesn't have to be super thick because we're going to be putting on 3 layers. So just know that that one needs to be on well enough to protect your lips from the other color. Now I'm going to put on a layer of Mauve Ice, which has got a shimmer to it, and it's a much lighter pink. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. Your lips are going to feel a little bit sticky. That's all right. There is an alcohol grade cosmetic alcohol in here that will make your lips tingle, especially at first. I will talk to you in a different video about the exfoliation process, but it's going to go away, and actually after a week or so, you'll hardly feel it at all. But that alcohol does help bond it to your lips. Okay, this is my second layer. You're going to do the same thing. Okay, like anything, you're going to get better with practice. Don't get discouraged if you don't do it perfectly the first time. That's why somebody in this company was smart enough to invent Oops, which is the remover. If you do make a mistake, you can put the Oops on there and take most of it off. Just make sure, again, after that you've cleaned your lips really well and that you dry them with a microfiber towel, something that won't have any dust. All right, now I'm going to put on my third layer, which is the Napa. You want to wait at least 3 to 5 seconds in between layers. This time, too, I'm going to kind of stretch out my lips. Some people do that all 3 times, but that just makes sure it kind of gets in all the nooks and crannies of your lips. So you're going to see me stretch out my lips. Okay, now I've got my color on, all 3 layers. Again, I'm frustrated a little bit with the lighting that I have here because in the video it looks a little bit uneven, but in the mirror it does not. So I'm going to go with that. After you get done with your third layer, remember that gloss is very important. I gotta figure out where I put my gloss in. Okay. The gloss does a couple things. First of all, it seals the color to your lips. It's going to take away that sticky feeling that you're feeling right now. And then it's also going to protect, again, the color throughout the day. Especially when you first start, you're going to want to put gloss on kind of like you would chapstick. Anytime your lips start to feel dry, when you are going through the exfoliation process, then it's going to take that away. It's really healthy for your lips. Put it on before you eat. That protects it from the food. If you don't like the real glossy look after, if you want to, you can use the matte gloss, and that will have the same effect. It'll protect it while you eat, and you'll find that you can wear it a lot longer with that as well. The glossy gloss doesn't matter how you put it on. You can go back and forth. Again, think of it like a chapstick. And I usually put this on several times a day. But mainly because I can't stand for my lips to be dry. And that's it. Once you're done with that, you should be able to walk out the door. The real shiny, glossy look, it will go away after 20 or 30 minutes. If you don't like it, just can't stand it when you walk out, then you can take your finger and just kind of wipe your lips so it's not quite so bright. And that will take a little bit of that off. But just know that that is moisturizing your lips. It's bonding that LipSense to your lips. And you're going to look great all day if you do it correctly, especially after you get done with the exfoliation process. Tonight, I'm going to have to take this off, and I will have worn it 15 or 16 hours. I love that. Okay, thanks, guys.